Hi, and welcome back to episode 40 of New, Old, and Songs Untold. I'm your host, Nick, joined with Anna. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Today we're recording on a Saturday, and we're doing...
It's weird that it's during the day.
I know, it's very weird. Today we're doing our our Valentines episode, so we'll be talking about our favorite love songs.
Yes, top 10 love songs.
Top 10 love songs. The list we have going is from a website called liveabout.com. And I think they did a top like 50 or 100, so we're just going to their 100. So we're just going to their top 10, and I guess we'll talk about our songs. I think we'll have different lists. I don't know. What did you think?
I think so too. I thought that a lot of the songs would be like really cliche songs because I don't know. Sometimes when you think love songs, you kind of go to like the classics, which I have some of those, but I also actually found songs that I love that it turned out that they're love songs. So. I was pretty excited to incorporate different kinds of music that I thought I was going to be able to. But what about you?
That's the same with me. I kind of tried to do like a mix of all different kind of decades, and because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of love songs. So
and for this list, there's literally so many songs I wanted to put on it that there's a lot of songs that could have been in the top 10 but are not.
And I kind of cheated for my number 10, so.
Gotcha.
But we'll talk about that. I guess, should we just get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You can go first. What was your number 10?
Well, what's the list number 10?
Oh, list number 10 goes first. I always, forget the order we do for some reason.
We do it the same every time.
I know. The number 10 for the list was Sonny and Cher, I Got You, Babe, 1965.
Ah, gotcha.
What is your number 10?
My number 10 is 1,000 Years by Christina Perri from 2011. Yeah, it's kind of an eternal love song. It was written by Christina Perri specifically for the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1 soundtrack, which I did not know, but because I just like the song. I've never seen the movie. But yeah, apparently, I think her record label was doing like the writing for the album, and they asked her to come in and like watch the movie and then write a song. Okay. And apparently she's a really big fan of Twilight. Like, she loves the books and the movies. I was like, okay, so this is perfect for you. And she said she went to like a little screening where there's all these like, professional Hollywood guys, like not even really watching the movie, like on their phones and stuff. And she was just like crying in the front row the whole time. And I was like, that's hilarious. But yeah, it's such a heartwarming and beautiful song. I feel like it almost sounds like an anthem to me for a love song. And it definitely has that idea of like loving someone for so long that it's like an eternity almost. Loving someone for 1,000 years. So yeah, I love this song. That's 1,000 Years for my number 10.
All right, my number 10 is Someone Like You by Adele off her album 21.
Adele did not make my list.
See, this one's kind of cheating because it is technically a breakup song, but her trying to get over somebody. But she does say like she wants to love someone like you.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this song. It came out in 2011 on her album 21. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And like I said, it was inspired by a broken relationship, which inspired most of her 21. I think it breaking up with Dan Wilson was the guy's name.
A lot of her
songs. Wrote it with Dan Wilson. I don't know who the person she.
A lot of her songs are like breakup songs, except for maybe like "Making You Feel My Love," but that's a cover.
Yeah. But I know it's a breakup song, but I guess breakup songs still can be love songs in a way.
In a way, yeah.
I just really like the song. I've listened to it quite a bit, so I definitely had to try to. Sorry, my laptop wants to update and reset. Nope.
It's not the time, laptop.
I definitely wanted to get this on the list. I almost didn't. It was very close.
Yeah.
That's why it's my number 10. So that's Someone Like You for my number 10.
All right, on to number 9.
Number 9 for the list is the Beatles and I Love Her, 1964.
That's not the Beatles song I would have gone with. But
no, there is another one on this list.
Okay, it's probably the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is, probably.
All right, my number 9 is Skinny Love by Bon Iver. I never pronounce his name right.
Bon Iver?
Bon Iver, sure. From 2007, his album Forever Forever
Ago. I actually got something pronounced correct over here.
Yeah, there's certain words I just can't pronounce, and I kind of just give up. Yeah, so this song is about a relationship in which there's no love or emotional fulfillment anymore, but it's more just like a codependent need for affirmation. And this whole album was written by Justin Vernon when he was basically isolated in a log cabin in northern Wisconsin, which I always think is really cool. The whole album has definitely that feel to it. And yeah, it just is really raw and real. It has like this rusty, almost sounding guitar and very stripped down vocals, which sound really cool. And it's completely like beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. Again, it's not like a traditional like happy love song. It's kind of a sad love song. And it expresses love in a very like sad way, but still very like realistic, which I thought that was kind of cool. But that is Skinny Love for my number 9.
All right, my number 9 is Something Stupid by Frank and Nancy Sriracha. Sinatra. Oh man, that is hilarious because
that's the worst mistake in speaking that you've ever had.
Sinatra, not Sriracha. Jesus.
Oh man.
All right, well that's all. It's off of. Let's just number 9, Something Stupid by Frank and Nancy Sinatra.
They're actually just tangy sauces.
off of the World We Knew album. It was released in 1967. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was originally written by C. Carson Parks, and it was originally recorded by him in 66 and with his wife Gaily Foote. I love like the Western influence of like the song. Like that's honestly the beginning's like very Western influence.
I wanted to put this song on my list so bad.
And
I
it's
love
like
that song.
it's like one of the like probably like it's noted as like one of the best duets ever, and I definitely agree with that. It's like kind of gorgeously like sung between both Frank and Nancy. It's just a really good song. It's a interesting love songs. It's kind of like a story saying like I think the coming to recognition that they both like kind of love each other at the end.
But then he feels like that's gonna mess up the relationship because it's like saying something stupid like I love you.
And it's a very good song. Like I said, I think the Western influence of it really what draws me the most to it. So that was my number 9, Something Stupid.
All right, on to number 8.
Number 8 is In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. Jeez, I can't talk already today. Saying Sinatra.
You can never talk. I mean, let's be real.
All right, it came out in 1986.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I know that song.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't know.
What is your number 8?
My number 8 is Say You Love Me by Fleetwood Mac off of their self-titled album Fleetwood Mac from 1976. This is not the last time you'll see Fleetwood Mac on my list.
I don't think we're going to have a single song the same.
Do you not think?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe. I don't know. So this was written by Christine McVie when she was still married to the other band member, John McVie, and it's kind of directed at like a nameless lover who sweeps her off her feet, and it's kind of a breakthrough with like women discussing their like own desires and sexuality at the time when it came out. And it starts off with this like really exciting piano that completely pulls you into the song. It's so iconic, and I feel like she has really stunning vocals on this. It's such a catchy like feel-good song, and to me this song and like this album really signifies the strength that they are starting to build as a band, because this is when they kind of solidified that classic lineup for their next album, Rumors, too. But I love this song. I literally just love this song. There's just something about it that's just so catchy. And but yeah, that's Say You Love Me for my number 8.
All right, my number 8 is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. It's off of Dizzy Up the Girl, released April 1998, peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. You know the song, I'm assuming?
Yes.
It was actually, I didn't know this, so the song was written for the 1998 film City of Angels starring Nicholas Coles. John, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that wrote it. I'm pretty sure he's the lead singer for the Goo Goo Dolls. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But he said, when I wrote it, I was thinking of the situation of the Nicolas Cage character in the movie. The guy's completely willing to give up his own immortality just to be able to feel something very human. And he goes on to say, I think, wow, what an amazing thing it must be like to love someone so much to give up everything, be with them. And that's like kind of crazy if you think about the song. And I didn't know that was the backstory of the song.
I didn't even know that was a love song, honestly. Like I couldn't tell you one lyric from that song.
It definitely is, because it's like I'll give up forever to touch you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because the song like became like so popular, like the movie, I didn't even know this movie exists. It's like I said, it became like one of, I think, their biggest hits. I think the biggest hits, if you think of the Goo Goo Dolls, you probably think of Iris. I saw the song live, actually. Saw this played live. I love the song, and it's definitely it's not a love song in what you think a typical love song would be, but it's definitely about somebody who has,
it's kind of like a declaration of love.
So that's my number 8, Iris.
All right, on to number 7.
Number 7 is a song that almost was on my list. I had just not quite. It's Righteous Brothers, The Unchained Melody.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
1965. It's kind of it's definitely a classic. I just almost not quite. What is your number 7?
My number 7 is Let's Stay Together by Al Green from the album Let's Stay Together. Came out in 1971.
I almost also had that on my list.
Oh man, I love this song. It's literally stuck in my head like 24/7. It's crazy. But yeah, this is probably known as the biggest hit from legendary singer Al Green. It's kind of like a irresistible romantic soul track. It's about an unconditional love where you're determined to stick it out through good and bad times. And Al Green wrote the lyrics, apparently in like 15 minutes or something like that, of course.
Classic.
And then the music was written by Al Jackson Jr. and Willie Mitchell. And it reached number 1 on the R&B charts when it came out. To me, this is just like a landmark staple of the soul genre. I feel like this was kind of a turning point in the production and kind of the style of soul. And its vocals are so emotional and smooth. I mean, all soul singers have incredible voices, but I really love his style, and the production on this is really amazing. It has like such a warm feel to it that I think that's what really makes it stand out. But that's Let's Stay Together for my number 7.
My number 7 is a song that I forgot existed and you probably don't. It's called Save Tonight.
Yeah, I know that song.
Okay, I forgot this song.
Classic 90s song.
It's by Eagle Eye Cherry off their album Desireless. Came out in October 1997. It peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's kind of like a song about, it's not like again, I kind of tried to pick a couple like atypical love songs. It's more about like living in the moment of like that night, as he says, save tonight.
Fight the break of dawn.
Musically, has a very it's kind of like it's a weird song. It's not weird. It's a unique song. I think it's got like a soulful kind of edge to it, where but you hear like the acoustic guitars.
Gotcha.
I cannot talk today. All right, but you hear like the acoustic guitar with like the kind of electric sound to it. Mm-hmm. It's a very unique sounding song. I think
to me it's very distinctly 90s.
It is. It's like I completely.
I
agree.
hear that song. I'm like, that's a 90s song.
But I heard this song and I was like, I definitely forgot how much I liked the song. So
yeah, very catchy.
That is my number 7, Save Tonight.
All right, on to number 6.
On the number 6, I'll just go right away since it's the same exact.
Oh, okay.
Crazy, I didn't realize this.
What a coincidence.
Elton John, Your Song.
I hate that song.
I know you do, but I love the song.
Have you ever read the lyrics? They don't even make sense.
Yeah.
They're really silly lyrics, but it's a beautiful song.
It is.
But the lyrics just get me every time.
That's also my number 6. Came out in October 1970. Peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, and obviously written by I forgot how to say his last name, but it's Bernie Taupin, right? Yeah. His Elton John's longtime songwriter. Yeah, I find it very like you said. I think vocally and the piano is very beautiful to the song.
Yes.
And some of the lyrics make. Can
I just read some lyrics?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and the second verse, it says, "If I was a sculptor, ha, but then again, no." And then it just talks about, or a man makes positions in a traveling show. It's like, what? What are you talking about? He literally goes, ha, but then again, no. Like, forget everything I just said when we're talking about something else. It's so ridiculous.
True. But
you cannot deny that it is.
I would agree.
The lyrics are subpar, in my opinion.
True. There's rumors that he wrote it like not like this was before Elton John was out.
Oh yeah.
So there's rumors that he wrote it like ambiguous to gender.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too.
So I find that's like interesting too. Like, so you can definitely tell though because it's a very ambiguous song to like use it lyrically.
It's just
kind of
your
weird.
song. It's not like a specific gender or anything.
For sure. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So that's my number 6, Your Song by Elton John. Anna hates that song. So what is your number 6?
Not a fan. My number 6. This is probably the most like cliche love song that I picked for my list, but it is "Can't Help Falling in Love" by Elvis Presley off of the album Blue Hawaii.
We will be talking about that again.
Yeah, it's a great song. So this came out in 1961. It's kind of just like a tender ballad about being unable to resist falling in love. And it's kind of one of Elvis Presley's most famous and romantic songs. It was featured, I didn't know this was in a movie, but it was featured in the movie Blue Hawaii. And it was written by George Weiss, who claimed that neither the movie producers or Elvis liked the song, or Elvis's associates liked the song, but Elvis insisted on recording the song for the movie because he really liked it. And apparently Elvis would end like most of his concerts with this song, which I think is kind of a perfect ending song to a show. But yeah, it's just one of the most like beautiful and delicate love songs ever. His voice evokes so much emotion and honesty, and it kind of just gives you like goosebumps when you listen to it. It's really a beautiful song. But that is "Can't Help Falling in Love" for my number 6.
All right, on to number 5 for the list is "Wonderful Tonight" by Eric Clapton, 1978. I don't know if I've heard this song. I have.
It sounds familiar, but I can't think of it.
Okay. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is "This Will Be an Everlasting Love" by Natalie Cole from the album Inseparable. This came out in 1975. It's kind of just an R&B smash about the singer's optimistic hopes regarding a relationship. It won her first Grammy for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance, which previous to this, I think Aretha Franklin had won like almost every time since that category had been created. So it was kind of a monumental thing. And apparently there's not really any like magical meaning behind the song, but according to the songwriter Chuck Jackson, they kind of just wrote it because Capitol said that there wasn't like a hit single on the album, which I thought was kind of funny. So they just went back to their hotel and wrote it like that night to put on the album to record, which it definitely is a hit single off of this album. And this was it was the first of 5 consecutive number 1 R&B hits for Natalie Cole. It's one of the more like upbeat and optimistic songs on my list. Some of them are kind of sad, but this one is extremely happy. And it's, it has, her voice is really amazing. It really shines through in the song. And I love like the horns, and it kind of adds like a jazzy and funkiness to it. This song is the reason I know this song so well is that it's at the end of the movie The Parent Trap, the remake with Lindsay Lohan. So that it just reminds me of that every time I hear it. But I almost picked her dad's song, Nat King Cole, Love, also from The Parent Trap, but amazing song, a really great love song. But yeah, this one is definitely gets you in a great mood. But this will be an everlasting love for my number 5.
All right, my number 5 is "She's Always a Woman" by Billy Joel, off of his album The Stranger, released in 1977. It peaked at number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's a song that it's kind of like a ballad he wrote to his then wife, Elizabeth Weber. Interesting about kind of like she like had just recently taken over the management of his career, and it was able to put his like kind of financial affairs in order.
Gotcha.
Because he was kind of like made a bunch of bad contract signs, and she was a very tough and savvy negotiator who could, as he did do, woo her with her eyes or steal like a thief. Both lines from the song.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like. It's a I think a gorgeous song, especially with how he sings it. And I think it's a very interesting song because it kind of gives her the props of like how well she was as like a businesswoman for him, but also saying how he's like to him she's like just he's like or she is like his wife that he's absolutely loved, but also giving her props to her kind of
a little bit
career.
Of a different perspective for a love song.
They ended up getting divorced in 1982, only 5 years after the song, and he didn't play the song at any concert from 1982 to 2006. So
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that was my number 5. She's Always a Woman by Billy Joel.
All right, on to number 4.
Number 4 is Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel, 1977. I believe the same album, The Strangers.
I thought it was going to be Bruno Mars.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Bring It On Home to Me by Sam Cooke.
I think that might be my honorable mentions.
Yeah. Oh, this song is so good. I didn't know if it like technically counted as a love song because like, I guess it is a love song. For a while I was contemplating because he kind of like, it misses her and like lost the girl that he loves. So, but it's still a love song.
I put Adele song on my list.
That's true.
So,
yeah, that is true. But yeah, this came out in 1962, and I think it was a single, originally released as a single, and then it came out on the Best of Sam Cooke, the album, which I have, that album, amazing album. But Sam Cooke wrote this and recorded the original version, which is like an R&B style. And the song is basically about a guy who loses his girl, and he doesn't think about it much at first, but then starts to miss her terribly and will do anything to get her back. It features Lou Rawls for backup vocals, which I never knew. Like that, the back and forth part in the chorus, that's Lou Rawls, which is pretty crazy. This is honestly just like one of my favorite songs of all time. I love this song. It just sounds so good. His voice kind of evokes like every emotion when you listen to it, and it has such like depth and soul in it. And the instrumentation is really beautifully layered with strings and piano and drums, and just has like an amazing rhythm. And it's a very like slow rhythm, which I like. And I almost picked his song You Send Me, because that's a really good song too, but I had to go with this one because it's just so classic. But that
also was on Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But that is Bring It On Home to Me for my number 4.
My number 4 is At Last by Etta James.
That's a classic.
Oh, it's like I like forgot like I haven't heard this song in a while.
Yeah.
It's off her album At Last, released April 1961. The song was originally written by Mac Gordon and Harry Warren for the musical film Sun Valley Serenade in 1941, and she covered it essentially, but kind of redid a lot of it too, and kind of made it her own. Like it's probably her biggest hit.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful song.
Her voice just reaches so these heights that are like, wow, that is incredible.
I heard this and I was like, it's gotta be on my list. It's such a gorgeous song, and definitely I think a definition of what a love song definitely is. Yeah, that's all I got for that one. So
classic wedding song.
It is. That's my number 4, At Last.
All right. On to number 3.
Number 3 is Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney for the list, 1977.
Yeah, not surprising.
Not surprising at all. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is Sea of Love by Cat Power, off of her album The Covers record from 2000. Do you know this song?
I don't remember.
You might know it if you heard it. It's kind of one of those. It's pretty recognizable, but you might. Yeah, it depends if you've heard it or not. But
gotcha.
It's a cover of a Phil Phillips record from 1959, and it was prominently featured in the 2007 film Juno. So it's on the soundtrack for that movie. Yeah, it's kind of it's really short and simple song, but it's the emotion is very potent, and I just love like the really rough sounding guitar, along with like the really soft and beautiful vocals. This seems like a song that you would like serenade someone with, because it's just like really simple, but has a lot of emotional complexities to it. So that is Sea of Love for my number 3.
Nice. My number 3 is Love Story by Taylor Swift. off her album Fearless. I had to put it on because I love the song, but also she re-recorded.
I was gonna say very timely. Yeah,
it is. I did it for a reason. So if you don't know, she's re-recording at least Fearless.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't own the rights to, I don't know which albums, but definitely Fearless, Scooter Braun. He owns the rights to her music. So
it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. But she's re-recording Fearless. She actually released Love Story on Friday.
Yeah. Is the new version like different? Have you listened to it?
I listened to it. You can't really she definitely sounds a little older, but I mean she is old, but her voice isn't really that much changed. So, it was released originally September 2008. Peaked back then at number 4 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. I'm sure it's going to get back on the charts.
Probably.
She was inspired to write the song when she was kind of going through a difficult situation with the boy she liked, whom they were never officially dating. There's rumors of who it was about. One's about, like, it could have been about Joe Jonas apparently, or Boys Like Girls frontman Martin Johnson, because they just recorded Two Is Better Than One for Boys Like Girls together. So they were kind of apparently rumored to be a thing, but it's kind of just modern day Romeo and Juliet style song. That's basically what it is. I kind of like the country elements to it, even though she was always kind of country pop in her own way, but definitely I like the country elements to the song. I definitely think it's always interesting hearing like a Romeo, like it is Romeo and Juliet just as a modern day without the tragic suicides at the end, but
yes. Happier ending.
Yes, happier ending. It's just a great song, and I had to put it in there just for the timeliness of it re-releasing on Friday. So that is my number 3, Love Story.
All right, on to number 2.
Number 2 is on the list is The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face by Roberta Flack.
Roberta Flack is classic.
1972 I said came out. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is Mystery of Love by Sufjan Stevens, and that is off of the soundtrack for the movie Call Me By Your Name from 2017. You probably haven't heard this song. It's kind of left field, but it's one of 2 songs that he wrote for the soundtrack of the film Call Me By Your Name, and this song was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Song. The lyrics to this, it's kind of like an airy ballad, and the lyrics are about romance, but they're not very specific to like the relationship of the 2 characters in the movie, which I think makes it much more like general and universal because it's kind of vague in its meaning. And he said that, I have a quote from him saying that I wanted them to feel aesthetically and emotionally like independent works that could live on their own if they had to, and that I didn't want to correlate to the narrative too much. I wanted to keep it vague and universal, and I felt that I needed to convey a sense of transcendence and beauty in conjunction with a sense of loss, which I feel like he definitely captures that. If you haven't heard this song, you have to go listen to it because it's so beautiful. It has it's very like atmospheric and nostalgic, and it creates like an entire mood and softness that I think is really, really beautiful. It's kind of a sad love song again. But it expresses love in like a more complicated way where it's not like always happy all the time, which I think I like. And then I feel like it just kind of like takes you to this whole other place. The movie is amazing also. I don't know if you've seen this movie. Really good movie. I feel like it definitely matches the aesthetic of the movie. But like I said, it's not like specifically about the characters, which is really cool. But that is Mystery of Love for my number 2.
All right, my number 2. I kind of cheated. This was a cheating love song.
Oh boy.
It's Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. Which I think it is kind of a love song, but he didn't write it in the sense of a love song. Yeah. So that's why I think the lyrics are very simply like, there ain't no sunshine when you're gone. Kind of saying like this person when they're gone, their life's worse. But he kind of explained it as sometimes you miss the things that weren't perfectly good for you. So I just took it the other way. Nice. But I love this song just because his voice is so good. Like it's such a like very soulful like song. Like the opening just grabs you. I picked this more for
kind of like a smoldering song. It's really good.
It was released in July 1971, and it peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was released on the B-side to the song Harlem in 71. It's funny, he was actually working at a factory making toilet seats for airplanes when
nice.
And he was inspired to write the song after watching the movie Days of Wine and Roses. So he kind of thought, like, he kind of watched the movie and just thought of like something like how he said, like, sometimes you miss things that weren't particularly good for you, but I kind of take it more as like, you could take it as like definitely it's a song that he writes about that this person, if they're not in their life, his life's a lot worse. So
yeah.
That is my number 2, Ain't No Sunshine.
All right.
What are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions are Something by the Beatles, which I think is probably the list number 1. Yeah. Love on the Brain by Rihanna. Love Shack
nice.
by B-52s. Faithfully by Journey. I wanted that in my list so bad. I love that song. And then When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge.
Mine is Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis. Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden. You ever heard that song?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm going to have to play it for you after. Alright, and then You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
Oh.
Yep, that's such a banger. I love that song.
Just saying those words, it just makes me want to dance.
Yep. No One by Alicia Keys, and then My Girl by The Temptations. Alright, since we already kind of spoiled it, the number 1 on the list is the Beatles' Something, 1969.
That's kind of just like widely known as the quote-unquote best love song. I don't know if it is, but it's pretty good.
Alright, I'll go first because you already had my number 1, so I'll be quick.
Okay.
My number 1 is Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis off of Blue Hawaii. You said literally everything I was basically going to say.
Nice.
The only thing I was going to add is that I think it's such like the song, I think, is like, because it's been covered so many times, I think speaks to the volume of the greatness of the, because it's such a simple song lyrically.
Yeah, have you heard the
like
21 Pilots cover?
No.
Oh, it's so
There's
good.
a cover I'm going to talk about though that I think the simpleness of the song is like, it's not a long song.
It's very easy to play also.
It's very easy to play, but I also think it's covered so much because it's such a great love song. Like, yeah. I really like the cover by, I don't want to butcher her name, but it's like Kina Grannis or something. But she played on a movie called Crazy Rich Asians. They have a scene in there where it's a wedding, and she did a cover of the song for that movie.
Yeah.
Because I believe she's Asian American, and her voice is gorgeous, and the whole scene, I
it fits the scene really well.
Yeah, it fits the scene very well. Like, I liked her voice with the song too, because I think like that's another, like, I like how she was able to get higher with the song than like Elvis sings it a little softer toned to it.
Yeah, he has a
that's
very
his
deep
voice. Yeah, his voice is deeper, but I love the contrast. Both, I'm going to put it on the playlist. I love both versions, like, a lot. But so that's my number 1. I Can't Help Falling in Love.
All right.
What is your number 1?
My number 1 is Songbird by Fleetwood Mac, off of Rumors from 1977. Again, this was written by vocalist Christine McVie, and it's kind of a very like soft and gentle song with very emotional lyrics about self-sacrifice in love. And apparently Christina said that this song kind of like held Fleetwood Mac together during their like really hard times when they were recording Rumors, which if you don't know, there's a lot of like in-band issues and kind of fighting between different members.
It's definitely someone we'll have to do maybe this year.
Oh, 100%. I love Fleetwood Mac, if you can't tell from this list alone. So once the members heard this song, they thought how much they had been through and how much they like loved sharing that kind of experience. And apparently on the Rumors tour, this was often like the last song that they played to kind of close out the show. And she penned the song in half an hour. It's kind of a weird story how she like came up with the song. She basically woke up in the middle of the night at like 3:30 in the morning, and had like the whole song, like the lyrics and the melody already just like
Really?
ready to, and the chords, yeah.
Huh.
And but she had like, so she played it on a piano they had in like their room, but she didn't have like anything to record it with because it's not like they had like smartphones back then. So she basically just wrote it down and like prayed that she would remember it in the morning.
That's crazy.
Which obviously she did, but the next day they went into the studio and she said she was like shaking like a leaf because she knew it was something special. And this song just hits me right in the heart. I think it's like the beauty of the song is the emotional tenderness that it's behind the lyrics, and the vocals. Obviously, she's an amazing vocalist. But sorry, I just like lost my place. I hit the scroll button like with my finger and it literally just shot down to the bottom of the page.
Nice.
But yeah, every time I hear this song, it just makes me want to cry because it's just so incredibly like real and sublime and beautiful. And yeah, I absolutely love this song. But that is Songbird from my number 1.
All right. Should we run back?
Yep.
Go through them again?
Yeah. So my number 10 was 1,000 Years. My number 9 was Skinny Love. My number 8 was Say You Love Me. My number 7 is Let's Stay Together. My number 6 is Can't Help Falling in Love. My number 5 is This Will Be an Everlasting Love. My number 4 is Bring It On Home to Me. My number 3 is Sea of Love. My number 2 is Mystery of Love. My number 1 is Songbird.
All right, my number 10 was Someone Like You. My number 9 was Something Stupid. My number 8 was Iris. Number 7 was Save Tonight. Number 6 was Your Song. Number 5 was She's Always a Woman. Number 4 is At Last. Number 3 is Love Story. My number 2 was Ain't No Sunshine, and number 1 was Can't Help Falling in Love.
All right.
So what do you think after kind of listening to all these songs?
Yeah, I guess like the greatest thing about love songs to me is that like they can be expressed in so many different ways, because like each song obviously is about love, but and it kind of takes a different perspective on love, which I really like. And I also love how it can kind of cross through every single genre.
Yeah.
Because there's not like a specific kind of love song you have to make in a certain style. It can kind of be whatever music you like making. You can express love through that medium, and I think that's really cool and universal. Yeah,
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, the idea of love, like the love songs, are been around for ever, you know.
Ever. It's
so
like,
it's like, the most
cliche, traditional, classic type of song.
But I think it was interesting, like kind of how you said, like you can see it expressed in so many different ways, which I think is why it's a unique topic, especially song-wise, to cover.
And I think that's why it never gets old, because like someone is always just kind of tweaking how you look at it.
And like I would even consider like breakup songs as a form of love songs, because they are.
Yeah, because it's still expressing love for someone. It's just that love is lost.
But I think that's like a very unique. It's a unique, obviously, subject for song wise, and I think it's a lot of songs are based on that. And I think going through, I loved picking out the different like decades too, because it's like you it's the same theme. But it's like you can really tell the different sound and how like music is different throughout the decades.
Yeah, you can kind of see how like cultural views on love has like changed throughout the decades and kind of progressed into different things, which is really cool. But yeah.
So yeah.
That is our episode on top 10 love songs. You can check out other episodes on either YouTube or Spotify. Or anywhere
iTunes or wherever you're listening.
Anywhere you listen
to
podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Songs Untold. If you're watching our video, make sure to subscribe and like and leave a comment.
Yes, do that. What was your guys' favorite love song?
Yeah. I feel like ours were all very different. So, did we have one that was...
We did not.
Yeah, we Can't Help Falling in Love.
We had one. We
had one that was similar, but all the rest were different. So, whichever one you thought... that you think is the best, let us know. And if you want to hear the songs that we talked about today, you can check out our new Olden Songs Untold podcast playlist on Spotify. Next week we
we have no idea
know what we're doing, but you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. But that was pretty fun episode. I actually really enjoyed that one.
It was.
And have a nice week, and thank you for listening.